Welcome everyone. This is the first game between Mr. Yo and MbL from this best of 5 played yesterday. Actually, there were more games, but it makes up the first 5 games make for a best of 5, so we're gonna stick to that, otherwise it's going to get too long. Still though, let's get right into the game. Mr. Yo is going to be playing in blue over here, playing Spanish. And he's going to be facing MbL, who is going to be playing Turks over here in the yellow. The map seems to be Arabia. Scouting seems to be good. Already finding a good amount of sheep. We're gonna take a look at the generation. We can see the stone here for MbL is on the back, which is quite nice. That's the main stone even. Secondary stone is a bit forward. Main goal is a bit forward, and the secondary and the third goal is also kind of forward, so that's not ideal for him. But at the very least, very nice stone here on the back. He's still missing the sheep over here. It's gonna take a while for him to actually scout that. And in terms of wood, he has a couple of wood lines in the east and then another one in the front, but he's going to go for the front wood line. Interesting. Yeah, the map generation is not very good for him. Forward gold, forward wood, not really a lot of back resources other than the stone. And hello, Discern. Hey there, hello. For Mr. Yo, what's the case? Back berries, alright. Back wood, that's already better. The stone is to the east. 2 forward wood lines, 2 forward golds. And the other goal is not forward, but it's too far away. Fortunately for him though, he has a very nice map here. The wooden generation was quite nice for him. He should be able to close this if he wants to, with a couple of palisades, for sure. Oh, but he lost a villager! No, man! That's not the way to go. Yeah, I believe the lag between these guys, or the ping between these guys, and the resulting lag is probably higher than average, which can result in a couple of missteps like that. So that's going to be first blood in favor of the boar, who is going to get killed afterwards. And yeah, other than that, 12 villagers and 13 villagers for these players respectively. Mr. Yo is going to try and close himself. Yeah, he's going to try and wall the map apparently. He found the missing sheep. And so did MbL. MbL playing in yellow, by the way. He used to play a lot of blue and a lot of green. Now he's playing a lot of yellow. He probably wants to get some of those sweet maps that the Viper so often gets. Unfortunately, kind of backfiring now, as he doesn't really get the best map generation. As for Civ matchup, Turks versus Spanish, very interesting. Both gunpowder civs, but Spanish as well, other than gunpowder. Great cavalry and some of the best monks in the game as well. Monk civilization together with Aztecs and Vietnamese, and Burmese, sorry. So I believe he's going to be fine. I think probably in this matchup, the Spanish player is going to have the advantage. Now, one of the good things about casting recorded games is that we can skip all at the beginning, so we're gonna go a little bit faster. Up, there we go. And perfect. Now MbL's on his way to Fuel Age. Mr. Yo, because of the Rocky Star, it seems like he's gonna try to go for Fast Castle. MbL should probably try and go for Scouts. In Fuel Age, that's probably the unit that makes the most sense. If you're playing as Turks, not only do Scouts get upgraded for free to Light Cavalry and afterwards Hussars, but yeah, all the other units other than Men at Arms cannot really be upgraded in Castle Age. So skirmishers, spearmen, only archers, but archers from Turks are not the best. Although they can use the archers in Fuel Age and then probably transition into cavalry archers, so as to make use of all the archer upgrades that they have to research in village to make use of archers. So that could be an option. If we take a look at the build order here, 4 villagers on berries. Alright. He's gonna go for the stable right now. Yeah, there we go. He's going to be aggressive. Mr. Yo, on the other hand, we saw it already. Yeah, about the title, sorry about that. I had issues with the channel and I cannot currently change the title myself. That should be fixed kind of soon. But yeah, you're gonna have to ignore the title, sorry about that. Anyway. Now 4 villagers, he already spotted this, so he's going to go for the towers. This is a very classical move. Now Mr. Yo is going to go up to village, which means that he's probably going to be up in time to go for his own towers here to try and prevent MbL from going forward with even more towers. Now there's one very low HP villager over here, another villager here that took some damage. I'm not sure if from this wolf or from another one, but still 2 scouts forward, 1 tower going up. And I want to see if Mr. Yo is going to be able to answer to this tower rush, or to this push rather. I'm gonna take a look over here. We can see that MbL is taking advantage of that back stone that he had. Oh, thank you for the heads up. Yeah, we're gonna try to work that out throughout the stream. Can't do it right now, sorry about that. Alright, so this is troublesome now. 2 towers are going to be a lot harder to stop. If it was only 1 tower, he could potentially try and rush it down, but now with the scouts here, there's no way for him to do it. So he's going to go for more walls. Now, these 2 golds, the 4 golds, they were behind the wood, yeah, the wood walls, the wooden walls. But the other one is over here. I'm not really sure if MbL knows about that one. If he knows about this gold, he doesn't. So Mr. Yo is not going to be totally out of gold. Well, let's take a look at the resources. Yeah, he should be able to go up now. He's taking some stone as well. He's obviously gonna try and go for the castle in Castle Age. And yeah, with this stone wall and this stone gate, he should be pretty much set. So now he only needs to wait for a little bit, or maybe use the market and try to go up. Let's see, idle TC. But he almost has the resources. He's just waiting a little bit. 2 villagers behind though, that is not good. One of those, of course, comes from Castle Age, from Dark Age I mean. Losing 1 villager to the boar. And alright, Mr. Yo now finally on his way to Castle Age with 547 stone, which means that he is only 200 stone away from being able to afford the castle. Now Mr. Yo on the other hand, MbL on the other hand, going for more towers. But now Mr. Yo is in a position to answer himself. Because MbL is building the first tower here and he doesn't have any other towers in range, this is going to be a lot easier for Mr. Yo to fight. So let's see. That's good. He's going to be able to garrison the villagers. 1 scout's gonna go down. Yeah, there we go. And the situation here, pretty stagnant. Mr. Yo is going to need to defend this gold with his life, otherwise he's not going to be able to afford the conquistadors that he is trying to go for. And that was overall a very good turtle. Very good turtle from Mr. Yo, being able to defend just fine, being able to wall himself behind his original walls. In a way that now he is able to go up. And the situation for MbL is not really good. He doesn't have the resources to go up. He does have extra villagers though. 9 extra villagers in fact at this point. But Mr. Yo already up is going to go for the castle here to protect the gold. Yes, there we go. And that castle is going to be able to get rid of both towers. Potentially this one as well if he goes for some upgrades. I'm not really sure if the original range is enough. But still. That's one scout that's going to go down for sure. Oh, MbL! Going for the tower hub. Alright, that's gonna allow him to surround the palisade here a little bit better and destroy it. Yeah, for sure, but now the castle's going to be up. And Mr. Yo is gonna start pumping the conquistadors. And a couple of conquistadors are going to be enough to kill all of this. So let's see, additional walls over here. He's not going to quick wall. Oh, that's good. Quick thinking over there. Alright, that is great. This tower is going to defend the stone miner over here. What do we have here? 5 villagers garrisoned. That is good. Dealing some damage. And the castle's finally up. Let's take a look at the military units. That's going to be the second conquistador, as the first one is already here. Alright. Scouts, of course, are going to be faster. And the lumber camp. The disrespect for lumber camp. I'm gonna take your wood, Kappa. Places MbL Smurf? Oh man, I don't know about that. Mr. Yo though. 3 conquistadors out already, going for the siege workshop. Still at a great villager disadvantage. MbL is going to be upping castle age himself in just a little bit. Let's take a look at this. 85 stone only, so he's not going to be able to go for Janissaries. Of course, not that Janissaries are particularly good against conquistadors. The mobility makes the conquistador unit that much more effective for raiding. So yeah, things are looking quite good for Mr. Yo, despite the fact that he is 6 villagers behind. That's going to be 1 villager down for MbL, another one almost going down, and with 3 conquistadors he should be able, let me see, to one-shot villagers for sure. Yes, he only needs to make sure that all 3 projectiles hit the villager. But yeah, ram here, more conquistadors. This is going to go down. That's going to be extra villagers going down for MbL. That's 1. There you go. 3 projectiles. Now the thing about conquistadors is they are not very accurate. So at max distance, at max range, they don't really deal a lot of damage. But because of the mobility, you can close the gap, and there you go. So that's going to be more villagers going down for MbL, which is going to bring the villager count 39 for Mr. Yo, 37 for MbL, and just like that, the gap has been closed. The advantage for MbL is no longer there. Fortunately for him, he is kind of safe-ish at home because of the crossbows, and he's going to go for additional TCs. If we take a look over here though, Mr. Yo only 1 TC, I believe. Yes, that's the case. So if he doesn't close this game kind of soon, he's going to be in trouble. Otherwise, MbL is going to start pulling ahead in villager count, and Imperial Age, it's going to be tricky. Let's see. Milestorm, hello. Show match is over. No. These are rated games. I'm sorry, the title is wrong. Yeah, I'm sorry, the title is wrong. I'm not really able to change it right now. I'm gonna try to change it before the next game. Which is kind of unfortunate. So, yeah, you're just going to have to ignore the title. Sorry about that once again. Let's see. There we go. MbL at this point, 2 extra villagers. That second TC paying off already. Getting the advantage back. Let's see. For 8 conquistadors going with monastery. That's great. As we were discussing just a couple of minutes ago, Spanish are not only a gunpowder civ but also a monk civ, which means that they get all the monk upgrades, all the monastery techs. And yeah, of course, for Turks that's not the case. Turks should have the tool to get rid of the monks, which is the scout line that they get upgraded for free. So at this point, light cavalry. But MbL going for ballistics. Where are the crossbows? Crossbows are on the back, so he is expecting the conquistadors to try and go this way. But Mr. Yo, on the other hand, is going to go forward. He's just going to start taking this TC down with mangonels. And with this amount of conquistadors, I'm not really sure if this amount of crossbows is going to be enough. I don't think so. If you take a look at the HP, that's 35 HP for the crossbows, 55 for the conquistadors, 17 or 16 rather damage versus only 7. 1 pierce armor, 3 pierce armor. Yeah, the conquistadors are just going to destroy this. On top of the 2 mangonels that are already kind of counter to the crossbows. The game's not looking good anymore for MbL. He did get the villager advantage at this point though. But that 1 TC is going to go down. And this is going to draw a lot of villager time to keep this TC alive. Let's see. Alright, alright. Those are good shots. Very low HP crossbows over there. TC might be going down. Yes, MbL's not repairing this. 150 HP per shot. But there we go. 1 defensive mangonel for MbL. Oh, Mr. Yo's not paying attention. It's going to be 2 for 1, 2 for 0, 2 for 0. Alright, this mangonel is going to go down to the conquistadors for sure. There we go. Now if he brings the ram forward, now he should be able to take a good engagement, but this is a little bit of a mismanagement of army. The ram's just going to go down and he's not going to do anything with the conquistadors, so that's not great. 4 siege workshops going to go up now for Mr. Yo. Let's take a look at the rest of the map. So 1 moment ago it was only 1 TC for Mr. Yo. At this point it's 2. Only 2, alright. Beautiful micro. MbL is going to go for the watchtowers. And look at that. If this was Imperial Age, he was for sure gonna go for Bombard Tower. No questions about it. Oh, 1 conquistador over here from Mr. Yo is going to drive all the villagers away. And MbL is going to bring all the crossbows. I'm not really sure about this. Now he's kind of exposed over here. Although the 2 towers are good, Mr. Yo is going to go for 1 forward castle. And what is MbL going to do about this? Not much, it seems. He doesn't really have a lot of stone here. He can potentially go for 1 tower. But yeah, 1 tower is not going to be enough to prevent this castle from going up. Especially as the villagers are uphill. If he goes for a tower here, these villagers are going to take less damage. So the game seems to be, the writing seems to be on the wall, and the game seems to be going in favor of Mr. Yo, or at least that seems to be the trend. Even though MbL still has the villager lead, a lot of his villagers were idle here, repairing the TC. Now he's going to have to drive those villagers away from this area. This is a lot of idle time. He is going for another TC over here. There was more idle time here as he had to get those villagers away from the woodline as well. Okay, finally the other TC is going up. Yeah, but there you go, so that's a lot of idle time, and that's only 4 extra villagers for MbL. And that's going to go down now as Mr. Yo starts to do a lot of damage with the conquistadors. If we take a look at the HP pool, these guys are now full HP. Many of those were very, very weak. But that 1 monk from Mr. Yo is going to be enough to bring all of the army up in terms of HP. So that TC is doomed at this point. Still 2 TCs up, 2 other TCs up for MbL. But at this point he's not really going for a lot of military units. is mostly trying to boom, mostly trying to defend here with towers. He wants to get the advantage, the eco advantage. He seems to be trying to go for Imperial Age. In Imperial Age, he might have a chance to get back into the game. But he's gonna have to do something to deal with these Conquistadors. Siege Workshop's most likely going to go down. Is he queuing anything here? No, he's not queuing anything over there. In this situation, is the castle considered in the hill over here? I believe so, I think so. 2 TCs for Mr. Yo, 3 TCs for... 2 TCs actually for MbL at this point. He lost at 1. What's going on over here though? More Conquistadors. Yeah, camels are good if they can close the distance, but they are still kind of weak. They don't really have a lot of pierce armor. They don't really have a lot of HP. All they have is the bonus versus cavalry units. Yeah, but with this amount of Conquistadors, it's really hard to counter, especially with the mangonels. If you went for only crossbows or even better skirmishers, they can kind of counter these guys, but mangonels just add one additional layer of defense for the blue player. Now it's going to be very hard for MbL to defend. Camping the hill was good, but he's not going to be able to sit there all day long as the mangonels are going forward and approaching the army. And let's see, now is Mr. Yo going to try and force the fight over here? As I say that, MbL is going up to Imperial Age, and his plan seems to be working. He doesn't have the villager lead anymore. And Mr. Yo has been super aggressive, trying to push wherever he can. He's gonna come back here once again. No villagers to be found. He was probably expecting villagers to get back over there. It's probably faster just to get this to destroy that palisade wall instead of trying to go around here. Not even sure if he knows about this. Yeah, he does. But let's see, Siege Workshop coming up now here from MbL. And the mangonels are just going to make this engagement that much better for the blue player. And what is MbL gonna do? He's trying to boom over here, growing his eco a lot. But with 3 mangonels, yeah, there's no way for him to approach this. Now, in Imperial Age, Turks don't get Arbalest. But with Bracer, that's going to be 8 range. With Bracer, he should be able to outrange the mangonels. But yeah, it's still not as good as trying to snipe mangonels with Arbalest. Arbalest, they just destroy the mangonels. Still not over though. MbL still not up to Imperial Age yet. Oh, Mr. Yo is just going to approach. That's going to be 1-4-0 and 3 mangonels here up. MbL is trying to go away, trying to use the tower here to defend a little bit. He didn't garrison any archers. I was expecting some crossbows to get inside the tower. But there we go. So Imperial Age right now for MbL, going for Bracer right away, going for Thundering. I thought he already had that. Mr. Yo going for Imperial Age himself. But at this point denying this gold. Oh, in chemistry, that's right. You're correct. He does have another gold over here. But yeah, the situation is not great for MbL still. He's going to be able to hold on just a little bit longer. But let's see. Thumb ring. Mr. Yo is going to switch into cavalry, as we can see. Actually, hold on. Scale Bardin armor. Yeah, he's going to switch into cavalry. So Scale Bardin armor is going to provide +1 defense for cavalry units. And Mr. Yo is taking a great engagement here, destroying a lot of crossbows, and this army is going to go down. This army is going to go down. Actually, no. Hold on, that was good. I do believe if Mr. Yo engages head-on over here, he can still win. Oh, but look at this, a single Conquistador, and that is so smart from Mr. Yo. He has been doing this all game long, just placing smartly one unit in a place that's very annoying. And yeah, he's going to try and take care of all of the Conquistadors over here. So Congs and Knights, potentially Cavalier and Imperial Age, are going to be very hard to repel. Well, let's see. MbL starting to send the hunters forward now. These guys have scale barding armor at this point. They still miss chain barding armor and plate barding armor for the +3, +4 protection. Yeah, these guys are not going to survive a lot over there. So Imperial Age right now. MbL taking advantage of this, going for chemistry. Going for bombard cannons, chemistry for free for Turks. They don't need to research that. Mr. Yo is gonna try to go forward with a couple of villagers, and I wonder if he's gonna try to go for a castle. At this point he doesn't have the resources though, so I'm not really sure what he's going for. However, the two hazards here are doing a lot of damage, and this knight is not really doing very much. So the conquistadors were able to get rid of all of the crossbows over here, but the castle might go down. So 2 bombard cannons, uncontested, sieging the castle down. Stables coming up now for the yellow player. And we're going to see Hussars versus Cavalier most likely. Yeah, there we go. So Mr. Yo going for Cavalier. At this point, these units already have plate barding armor, so they are only missing the cavalry upgrade. They already have bloodlines. And yeah, Mr. Yo doing so much damage. There we go! MbL calling the GG. That's going to be the first game going in favor of Mr. Yo. Very smart play. He had a rocky Dark Age. He tried to counter that by closing himself, walling himself in very securely, holding on to MbL's forward, and going fast castle into conquistadors, into siege. Very well played. Mr. Yo strong, there we go, yes. Alright, we're gonna take a look at the achievements, then we're gonna update the score. Let's see. Military stats 73 to 33. That is insane. That is very good. Over 2 to 1 for Mr. Yo. And guys, let me know if the music is too loud or if the microphone is too loud or too low. I'm sorry about the traffic noises in the background. Damn it, man. Why do you have to get such a loud bike? Anyway. More eco for Mr. Yo. Food, stone and gold collection higher for him. Imperial Age and Feudal Age faster for MbL. Castle Age, of course, faster for Mr. Yo. And very nice. Very well played. Very systematic game. Textbook game. And yeah, that's going to get him the first victory here. Alright, we're gonna update the scores now. That's going to be 1 for Mr. Yo, 0 for MbL, and we're going to load up the second game. There we are. Stream is totally fine? Alright, thank you. Sounds perfectly smooth, even with bike noises and everything. By the way, just one moment, I'm gonna see if I can update the title. Alright, it's not working, it seems. Did it update? Alright, I don't want to pause this very long. We're going to get into the second game, and if it didn't work, yeah, we're gonna try again after this game. Anyway, second game of the series now, best of 3 between MbL and Mr. Yo. I mean, best of 3? No, this is wrong, my bad. This is the best of 5, I think. Yeah, best of 5, sorry. We're gonna update this as well. Best of 5, perfect. Alright. There we go. So Mr. Yo is going to be playing once again in the blue, playing Saracens, and MbL is going to be playing in the yellow, playing Ethiopians. So we have camels and navals for Saracens and archer civ for Ethiopians. Now archers For Ethiopians, they fire 18% faster, which is great. As for Saracens, they get the bonus that foot archers, they deal 2 extra damage versus buildings. Cavalry archers and Mamelukes deal plus 4 damage versus buildings. So that's what they get. Now Saracens, even though they are a camel and naval civ, they get all the archery upgrades and all the archery techs. So they get fully upgraded arbalists, they get fully upgraded cavalry archers, they get hand cannoneer, pretty much everything. So it's going to be interesting. Ethiopians, on the other hand, get camels. Saracens get camels as well. Yeah, I believe Saracen camels should be a little bit better in this case. Ethiopians, other than that, get shuttle warriors. Yeah, those are very good, but those are mostly a late game unit. So I'm not really sure. We're gonna have to see if they get to late game. Taking a look at the map though, MbL gets the main goal and the secondary gold to the north. They're not forward though, they're just a little bit far away. Main stone is on the back. The other goal is forward. And the secondary stone is on the back as well, so very nice stone generation for him. He gets a back wood line over here, another back wood line over there, a front wood line over here, and I believe MbL should be able to wall himself if he wants to. I believe the map is a lot better this time around for the yellow player. It's a lot better than the first map that he got last game. As for Mr. Yo, he's going to get back main gold. Oh, look at this, very nice. A back secondary gold, back wool line over here. He gets a wool line over here in the southeast, and he gets the other gold over there. So the secondary stone is forward, the main stone is a little bit forward, but it's not so bad. He should potentially be able to wall this as well. If he makes use of the cliff, he can go for a very long wall, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's probably going to be like this. But yeah, the map seems to be a little bit better for MbL. At least that's my opinion. Hey, be gentle, man, don't say it like this. Destroy Saracens in 1v1, come on. You have to keep the stream interesting, man. It's gotta be open. Can't say that. I know, if you get Portuguese or Vietnamese versus Indians, you want to keep it interesting still. Yeah, map is Arabia. So all of these games are played in Arabia, if I'm not mistaken. If that's not the case, we're going to make sure to clarify that whenever we get a different map. But yeah, map generation is a little bit better for MbL this time around, which is different than what happened in the first game. We're going to go a little bit faster now, until they get up to fuel age, which is good. It's a great advantage of casting, there we go, recorded games. You can just skip all the boring parts, the build orders, that kind of stuff. Pretty standard over here for both players. And Mr. Yo is going to go for the walls once again. He's going to try to go for, yeah, for fast castle. Nikov, thank you so much for the host. Everyone, welcome to the stream. We are casting right now a best of 5 between MbL and Mr. Yo here. These games were played yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I think it was 2 days ago. So welcome to the stream, and I hope you enjoy the games as much as I am enjoying those, as much as these guys are enjoying these as well in the chat. Saracens, monk rush incoming. We're gonna see. Still though, Mr. Yo now about to hit fuel age, and MbL already up, going straight into stable. Let's take a look at the scouting information over here. Mr. Yo has a pretty clear idea of what MbL's base looks like. MbL knows the rough location of Mr. Yo, but he's not aware of all the wallings yet. So right now we're gonna see that both players are going for scouts. Oh, Mr. Yo taking a very bad engagement over there. Probably took some arrows from the TC. Ethiopians don't have paper. Oh my god, man. AoE logic, you know? There are so many weird things about this game when you stop to think about it, about the text and stuff. Gods getting anarchy as a tech, Hans getting atheism as a tech, royal hairs as a tech. I'm not really sure about that. Paper money, I can't believe it's a tech. That's of course for Vietnamese though. Anyway, MbL is gonna go forward now with the 3 first scouts, and at this point Mr. Yo only with 1. He of course lost the original scout that he had, so he's going to be behind by 1 scout here already. Despite the travel distance, MbL is going to be at an advantage. Playing with yellow once again. You have to wonder what's the reason for the color switch. Still though, 1 spearman over here is going to push the scouts away. Even though the scouts can take a favorable engagement here, they are still going to lose a lot of HP if they try to engage, which is not going to be good, especially as all 3 scouts from Mr. Yo are going to come out from the stables. And there we go. Hey, Viagra. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Demise Red. Hello, and everyone, welcome once again. Game seems to be a little bit stale at this point. MbL is going for the walls here as well. He's going to be able to wall this area as well. I'm not really sure if he's going to choose to wall like this or over here and over here. Probably over here is a little bit better, giving himself some room to boom later on. Still though, this game seems to be going straight into Castle Age. There is not a lot of pressure going on from any player. Is this Green Arabia? I don't think so, I think it's only regular Arabia. Yeah, MbL is going to wall this. Alright, he's going to go for the safe walls. That's good. Mr. Yo already took some damage over there. So did MbL. Let's see. Free hit. Oh, that's bad. But there we go. The spearman is going to go down now. MbL is in a better position because of having his own spearman, but Mr. Yo is just going to retreat. And the game's going to go into Castle Age for sure. Villager count 31 to 30. Situation is about the same. We're gonna take a look at the resources. As we can see over here, 14 farmers for both players, 10 lumberjacks for Mr. Yo, and MbL clicking up to Castle Age. If we take a look over here, we can see that the total amount of resources, 3k food for MbL, 200 more wood than Mr. Yo, a little bit more gold, 35 units, 38 for Mr. Yo. That's very interesting. Mr. Yo has 3 extra units, less resources overall. Anyway, what is MbL going to do? We can see it here. He's going for archers, but if he exposes the archers, he's going to tell on himself. Now, Mr. Yo is going to have an idea of what MbL is going to go for. There we go. So now he's spotted the archers. What is he going to go for? He's going to go for his archers, for sure. This is going to become an archer war. Saracens, of course, can try and go for cavalry archers. I don't think that's going to be the case. Much less so now that MbL outed the first archer over here. Going for gold mining. Yeah, the game's going straight into Castle Age. Need those monks to come in play. Well, Saracens, they get all the techs from the monastery, even though they are not the monk civ. So Aztecs, Burmese, and Spanish are the monk civs, but Saracens actually also get all the monastery techs. They get also all the archery units, even though they are not even they are not an archer or a monk civ. So that's quite interesting. They also get the full tech, the full blacksmith upgrades. Anyway, MbL going straight into crossbows, Balkan arrow, Basso, and Mr. Yo halfway up to Castle Age himself, going for gold mining. Minotaur units 9 to 7. Oh, let's see, one spearman over there. A very necessary upgrade. Now Mr. Yo is going to spot the spearman. No. Or, okay, there we go. He noticed. But he's going to go forward regardless. So he already expects the forward, most likely. These guys are going to have to get moved. For sure. At this point, the crossbows get 7 range. Now villagers are going to go down. Mr. Yo was already expecting the forward. 5 crossbows only though, it's not very good now that Mr. Yo can go... Oh, elite skirmishers! He's going heavily into skirmishers. There we go, he doesn't want to fight Ethiopian archers with his own archers. Of course, Ethiopian archers, they shoot 18% faster. That's not going to be a fight for Mr. Yo to win, so... Going heavily into skirmishers now, but he's going to have to come up with something to protect the skirmishers from the scouts here. Let's see. Only 2 archers, not even crossbows. They're not going to be enough. Okay, there we go. So he's going to have to make use of his own scouts that he so swiftly kept around alive over here. So very nice. He's going to be able to repel now MbL. That was 1 scout going down. All 3 scouts here. All 4 scouts here. Kind of weak. Let's see. They're going to be fighting in this area. Villager count 38 for MbL versus 36 for Mr. Yo. Let's take a look over here. So blue player going for 2nd TC over here. No 3rd TC to be seen just yet. Yellow player on the other hand going for 2nd TC, no 3rd TC either, so they are pretty much mirroring each other. 2 extra villagers for MbL still, who is going for ballistics by the way, and scale barding armor, so that's going to be +1 defense for the cavalry units. So it seems MbL is going to start adding a couple of knights into the mix. That's going to be great versus the skirmishers, and Mr. Yo is going too far away from home. What is he gonna do over here? He's going to lose all of the skirmishers to the knights. That is not good. He doesn't have spearmen here or pikemen to be seen. Leather archer armor coming up, but at this point these guys are going to go down no matter what. +2 is not going to make a huge difference as they cannot really deal so much damage to the knights. Although just as I say that, he actually took 2 knights down, so that's very good for him. Oh, look at the damage, man! Yeah, it's very micro intensive here, trying to get 1 knight down with a couple of skirmishers. What is he going to do though? Is he going to add any other units? At this point that doesn't seem to be the case. He added a 3rd TC over here, so 3 TCs for the blue player, 2 TCs for... 3 TCs now coming up for MbL. But Mr. Yo should be able to start pulling ahead right now as he gets all 3 TCs in place working at this point, while MbL is only building the 3rd one. So still 2 villagers behind though, quite interesting. 3 villagers behind now, that's quite unexpected. But anyway, MbL seems to be on the driving seat right now. And the university coming up now. That means probably ballistic. Who is the caster? Well, the caster is Nova. You can do !caster. You're gonna get all the information that you need about this noob guy who is speaking to you right now. Anyway, Mr. Yo getting housed a little bit. Sending a couple of crossbows. I'm not really sure if that was... he forgot to change the gather point. I don't think so. He was probably trying to scout and see if Mr. Yo was trying to go for anything else other than skirmishers. But right now the game is kind of stale. 3 TCs for both players. Almost villager parity, only 2 villagers behind for the blue player. 59 to 57, 60 to 50, 7 is not gonna make a huge difference right now. Yeah, there we go. 2 villagers behind. Ethiopian player going for monks. He's going to be able to pick this one up. Although, I wonder if Mr. Yo placed this one over here on purpose. Does MbL know about MbL knows about this at his house now. Population very similar. 10 extra units for MbL, although he is still housed. He's building a house even. Yeah, he is. But a very slow game in comparison to what the first one was. And I hope the next games are not a lot like this. Can I say you have such a sexy voice? Yeah, you can say that. Thank you. But yeah, this is going to be stagnant for a little bit. Still going heavily into skirmishers. Now let's take a look. 2 monks here from the Saracen player. He should be able to convert a couple of monks. To convert a couple of knights. That's still not going to be enough. Especially now with this pikeman over here, with the crossbows over here. That's not going to do a lot of damage. I don't think he's going to be able to get rid of this mangonel by converting 2 knights, but let's see. Oh, good pick over there. Great snipe. Pikeman going down now. The snipes here, the conversions, are going to be a lot more significant. Oh! Redemption! He got the mangonel! MbL was probably expecting him to try and convert the knights. So was I, but he got the mangonel instead. Very good play! And now with monks from the Saracen player, MbL is not going to be able to get close to the mangonel, to get close to the skirmishers. And instead of going for gold units, he's going for monks and relying on monastery texts to convert the army from MbL. Very nice play over there. That's something I wouldn't have thought myself, but of course that's why I'm not a 2.4k player. Still though, villager count only 2 more for MbL. Even at this point, neither player really getting idle TCs. That's amazing. What? Okay, let's see. Mangonel going down, taking a couple of crossbows with it. If we take a look at the HP pool here, it seems like it was a decent shot. Not the best, but a decent shot. That's 1 knight going down. Where are the monks? It doesn't have monks anymore. And there we go, both players going up to Imperial H. MbL is going to be there a little bit sooner. 4 extra villagers at this point. Mr. Yo is going to be there afterwards. MbL going for thumb ring just now. Of course, being Ethiopians, you don't really have the urgency to go for thumb ring so early, as you, of course, get faster shooting archers regardless. The 1 knight's going to go down for sure. MbL at this point already with ballistics is not going to miss a shot. But very slow game overall. Let's take a look at the resources. 30 villagers on food for both players. 22 and 18 villagers on wood for MbL and Mr. Yo. On stone, MbL has 13 villagers, so he's going to try and go for castles now. In Imperial Age, we were talking about how shuttle warriors are a very good late game unit, and that's going to be especially true now that Mr. Yo is going heavily into skirmishers only. Now, shuttle warriors, they deal a lot of damage, but they are very weak. So it's kind of like the melee version of Gebetto warriors. At least that's how I like to think about them. But yeah, Mr. Yo is taking great engagements here. He is converting the units, converting the siege. And MbL, even though he's going for the gold units, he's not able really to do the damage that he probably is expecting to. So Mr. Yo is now going to switch into what? He's going for Fervor, he's going to keep going for Skirmishers, Imperial Age now, almost there. And MbL going for Arbalest and Chemistry, that's going to be very hard to stop now. Skirmishers, of course, they are still cost effective, but without the range, yeah, it's not going to be a good trade, especially as he loses a lot of skirmishers trying to just get close enough to the Arbalest. Let's see. Alright, 4 monks. Mr. Yo going for boss. So going for block printings, that's going to grant the monks extra range. Going for Thumbring and Bracer right now. Let's see, the knights here coming forward. All 3 are going to get converted for sure. There we go. And Mr. Yo is doing so much work with those monks. Let's take a look at the resources, the total resources. As we can see, very similar resource count. 1k extra wood for MbL throughout the game. 700 extra food. We can argue probably all those 700 extra food got wasted with all the conversions from MbL. But yeah, other than that, 142 population, 137, so very, very even game. Only 6 extra villagers for MbL at this point. KV, heavily in favor of MbL. But Mr. Yo doing a great job holding up over here. And of course, the units that Mr. Yo is losing do not cost gold, other than the monks. But the monks, of course, are very well protected. I don't think he lost a lot of monks. I think it was probably mostly skirmishers. So even though the KD is in favor of MbL, I would say it's probably more cost effective for Mr. Yo to lose units at this point than it is for MbL. But anyway, let's see. Shadow Warriors getting trained right now. Two castles up. Only one castle up for Mr. Yo. Where is the castle? It's over here, so defensive castle. Relic count 2 and 2 relics, but I saw Mr. Yo, okay, bringing 1 relic back home, so that's going to bring the relic count 3 to 2 in favor of the blue player. And it's just amazing how Mr. Yo is going so heavily into skirmishers and not dying. Very good combo here. Skirmishers and monks seems to be quite strong for Saracens, actually, at least versus Ethiopians. Of course, Ethiopians don't really get a lot of other units. Shuttle warriors are very important exactly for that reason. Other archer units, other archer civs usually get more options, but Ethiopians don't really get much other than archers. Cavalry for Ethiopians is not good. Although they do get Hussar, they do get heavy cavalry archer, they don't get bloodlines, which is a problem. But now Mr. Yo doing so much damage with a handful of skirmishers. That's going to grant him the villager lead, now 120 versus 116. Now, these arbalists are not going to be able to do anything. The Shuttle Warriors may change the game though. Let's see. Oh, Mr. Yo doesn't have anything here to protect against the Shuttle Warriors. He is going into cavalry archers at this point, going for chemistry. Didn't go for heavy cavalry archer yet, but let's see. Oh. This might be very good for yellow. Alright, let's keep track. 122 villagers at this point for Mr. Yo. Going down now. 6 villagers just like that. Let's take a look at the Shuttle Warriors. As you can see, 16 damage. Melee unit with 16 damage. That's as much damage as a Conquistador. Of course, they are very weak, but +4 Pierce Armor is going to be good enough versus skirmishers, not that good versus heavy cavalry archers. Anyway, let's take a look over here. MbL going for yet another castle. That's going to bring the castle count up to 3, yes. And all the skirmishers here got destroyed by a single mangonel. Now the villager count, very even for both players. This should be a better engagement for Mr. Yo, technically, although taking advantage of the hill might yield a better result over here for MbL. That seems to be the case. So I'm not really sure if it's worth it trying to trade over here with Arbalists. I think probably it was going to be a better idea to try and use the skirmishers to get rid of the villagers and prevent them from building the castle. But still, one bombard cannon over here is going to be able to get rid of the trebuchet. and the Ethiopian player is not going to be able to go for bombard cannons himself. So 3 trebuchets, 1 bombard cannon here, heavy cavalry archers versus arbalists versus monks versus shot warriors. I think this should be going in favor of Mr. Yo. He's getting good numbers up here, so not only cavalry archers, now trying to replenish the skirmisher count as well. That's going to be another castle going down. Yeah, and MbL was not able to do enough damage with these units. Yeah, shot warriors shouldn't really be an issue over here for the heavy cavalry archers. These guys are quite tanky. Oh, there we go. Bombard cannon now for the Ethiopian player. And Mr. Yo is in a great position. Population count very similar for both players, villager count very similar for both players, even military count. But the KD, even though it's better for MbL, once again you can't stress enough the amount of skirmishers that Mr. Yo lost, in contrast to knights and crossbows and arbalists for MbL, and that's gonna be so painful though, losing so many gold units to mostly skirmishers and a couple of monks. That's the way it is. Now 1 bombard cannon, I wonder if he's gonna try to convert it. He does have redemption, he does have block printing, so he's going to be able to convert this from a very long distance, but he is actually not trying to do that. What is the idea here? What is the plan here for Mr. Yo? Using the monks to... Oh, he doesn't have faith. Did he get illumination? With illumination you get faith faster. Let's see. Alright, now that MbL is not able to repair this, the castle should be going down. Castle count though is going to be 2 and 2 now. Bar cannon going down, alright. And MbL about to switch into cavalry, interesting. So we were saying Ethiopians don't get bloodlines, but they do get hussars, so at the very least he should be able to raid with those. He does have a lot of resources, as we can see. 2400 food. What's the situation for Mr. Yo? 800 food, 700 wood, 1700 stone though. Mr. Yo can go for almost 3 castles at this point. He's gonna be protecting this one though, repairing it. Population quite even now for both players, but as we can see, MbL having to retreat and Mr. Yo taking a look at the minimap, slowly but surely going forward, advancing and gaining more and more terrain. Alright, castle not gonna go down now. Oh, the sea tram. Both sea trams are going to get destroyed by now with only 1 trebuchet. That's not going to be enough. MbL is gonna go for another one now. But Mr. Yo is here with all the army. Yeah, if he had the heavy cavalry archers here before, he could have protected the siege rams. But I guess at times you don't notice until it's something's already happened. Let's see. Do you think Mr. Yo was trolling about destroying MbL houses? No, I don't think so, but that's a legit strategy. I have seen a lot of players do that quite effectively. Oh! MbL going for heavy camels, but once again these guys don't have bloodlines. I thought he was gonna try to go for hussars and try to raid, but he's going for heavy camels. Heavy camels cost gold, but they're gonna die to heavy cavalry archers, especially with this amount of heavy cavalry archers. Now Mr. Yo is going for his own hussars. I'm not really sure if he saw the stables and he was reacting to that, probably thinking that MbL was going to go for hussars. But that's a lot of, may I say, wasted heavy camels. These guys are not very tanky. They also get only chain body armor, which means that they are not getting the +3, +4, as we can see, only +2 defense. That makes these guys that much more frail. Yeah, this is not looking good for MbL anymore, and it seems like we might see the 2-0 here. Siege Workshop going up for Mr. Yo right now, 1k score lead. Quite even population still. Mr. Yo sacrificing a couple of villagers to try and get the gods to give him some good fortune in this war. Let's see if it works. Still though, more heavy camels. Surely gonna go down to the heavy cavalry archers. Yeah, just take a look at the HP. They killed like 2 skirmishers, but they are already a lot of low HP camels. What are we gonna see over here though? MbL pop capped. Interesting. Going heavily into skirmishers now, so the tides have turned, the tables have turned, and now the army composition seems to be exactly the opposite of what it was. Going heavily into counter units, and the heavy cavalry archers should not be able to fight this, even though they can kill the camels, if the camels provide a meat shield for the heavy cavalry archers to direct the arrows to, then the skirmishers are going to be able to destroy this army. However, MbL going for another siege workshop. What is he going for? Battering ram. Going for capped ram research right now, or technology. And Mr. Yo going for illumination finally. He's going to be able to convert more units more often with the monks now, as illumination gives you faster regenerating faith. So that's going to be more stamina for the monks. Oh, more sacrifices! Mr. Yo really wants to get good fortune here. Alright, 1 castle going up, not going... this is the ultimate sacrifice. I want to see if it works. If it works, I'm going to be sacrificing villagers in my own games to try and get good fortune. Still, heavy cavalry archers. Still not a great engagement. Camels are providing a good meat shield. The skirmishers are providing the damage over here. Remember that skirmishers, they get extra bonus damage versus cavalry archers. Alright, that castle's gonna go down. Let's see if Mr. Yo cancels it. Okay, he cancelled. Now MbL getting pushed once again. And this is a very slow push. By the way, we don't have any music. Hold on. Why? There we go. Sorry about that. Oh. There we go. Hussars here. Superior hussars, superior cavalry units for the blue player. Castle count 3 for both players. More military units for MbL, but at this point I'm not really sure. The difference is not going to be that significant, especially with siege rams. Skirmishers are not going to be very effective anymore. Camels are not going to be very effective even versus siege rams because of the cavalry archers behind. If he tries to go for... Ethiopians get the full siege workshop, so he can potentially go for siege onagers. But of course, Mr. Yo has redemption, so I'm not really sure if that's very effective. Still though, monks over here protecting the trebuchets, heavy cavalry archers over here protecting the rams, siege workshops are going to go down, stables are going to go down. Let's take a look over here though, cat ram targeting the units. Ram battle! Going in favor of the siege ram, of course. Cat ram is going to go down. Now the population still 10 higher for MbL, but let's take a look. Mr. Yo over here. Oh, MbL switching into pikemen, so it's going to be trash war. Skirmishers. Camels and pikemen versus heavy cavalry archers, hussars, trebuchets, monks, siege rams, archers even. If anything, we can agree that Mr. Yo's army is a little bit more versatile. Of course, the more variety of units you have in your army, the harder it is to properly manage it. But the potential is there, and Mr. Yo is a very good player, so let's have some faith. Castle going down. This siege is pretty much unprotected, but there is nothing for MbL at this point to defend this area. He's going heavily into barracks over here. He was going heavily into barracks over here. Going for Halberdier now. Halberdier are going to be great versus the Hussars. They are not going to be so good versus the heavy cavalry archers. With some good micro, the gold army should come out on top. And there we go, for the first time in the game, Mr. Yo with more population than MbL. Yellow player, who was consistently pop capped just a couple of minutes ago, is now down to 170 population. And if we take a look at the resources, MbL only 600 food, 400 wood, 300 gold, and Mr. Yo 1100 wood, 500 stone, 900, 1000 gold almost. MbL is not going to be able to sustain army production. He doesn't have wood here anymore. He doesn't have wood here anymore. He is getting raided over here, or at least pushed with siege rams, and still going heavily into trash units. So he's going to stick to halberdiers and skirmishers. Not that he can afford any other thing. He doesn't really have a lot of gold. Oh, bad engagement here for Mr. Yo, losing a lot of heavy cavalry archers. You can see all the corpses here. A little bit of a missed micro over there, sending the hussars towards the halberdier and sending the heavy cavalry archers towards the skirmishers. But now he seems to be taking a little bit better care now of his army. And the population 15 higher for the blue player. And Mr. Yo destroying the siege onager here, or the onager, pushing with hussars, pushing with siege ram, pushing with skirmishers over here, pushing with everything. He's even taking down the lumber camp. MbL is not going to be able to store the wood anywhere. Alright, there we go, that's going to be saved. 126 HP lumber camp. Still pushing over here. MbL losing population, going lower and lower. Only 99 villagers at this point. The game seems to be going undoubtedly in favor of Mr. Yo, and I expect to see the 2-0 here in just a minute. We saw the trend, and it's still present. Blue taking advantage of the whole map, taking full map control, and MbL getting more and more cornered with less and less resources. Woodline over here is about to get denied by these units. Woodline over here about to get denied by the push as well. He doesn't have any wood here anymore. He doesn't have any resources. Oh, Mr. Yo is gonna have to move his villagers though. He's probably gonna lose those. Alright, where's the guy that said Ethiopians destroy Saracens in 1v1? Kappa. Now, very well played from MbL and from Mr. Yo as well. I am very surprised to see just the value that Mr. Yo got out of those skirmishers and a couple of monks. Getting the game up to Imperial Age, denying the castles, pushing and getting all the map control. Okay, this is not good though. Now more population for MbL. Hold on. Resources are looking good for MbL all of a sudden. 700 food, 400 wood, 700 and 300 for Mr. Yo, who still has map control. But MbL is doing a great job here defending actually. Now 20 extra population. What's happening here? Trash is doing great. Yes. Siege rams going down. Skirmishers are getting rid of the heavy cavalry archers. Now Mr. Yo switching into trash himself. Oh, he noticed about this one. As the game switches into Trash War, you're gonna have to take special care of your gold units. So he's going to have to take care of the heavy cavalry archers here. He's going to have to take care of those as if they were made out of gold, which they kind of are. And yeah, this small army might give Mr. Yo the edge, but he's gonna have to take care of those. Let's see, Halberdier is going down for sure. 1 extra villager for MbL, 7 extra military units, 9 extra population in total. Halberdier going down for sure, there we go. And we can see here hussars and heavy cavalry archers. And MbL bringing back all his armies, so halberdiers, skirmishers and a couple of camels even. So the relics, of course, they are going to be providing some gold slowly but surely, and that means that they are going to be able to afford the gold unit here and there. They're not going to be able to spam those, of course. Oh, this is not good. This is not good. Mr. Yo is not taking care of these units. He's still going to get rid of all the halberdiers, but he lost a lot of cavalry archers over there. Yeah, he doesn't have a lot anymore now. He is getting harassed by camels. Alright, there we go. No way for MbL to micro this. Ballistics, of course, make it that much harder for a person to micro the units around. Try and dodge the arrows. Yes, I know. Alright. MbL is gonna call the GG. And that's going to be it. That's going to be 2-0 for Mr. Yo. And this is what I did. Look. It's not working. I tried that many times already. Still though, GG. We're gonna take a look at the achievements. We're gonna change the scores, and we are going to take a very, very small break of 2.5 minutes for you to go to the bathroom, to stand up, get away from the PC, you know, the usual stuff. So, yeah, let's see. Military stats. Actually, by the KD for Mr. Yo. So even though he was getting a bad KD earlier on, he was able to catch up. Buildings raised a lot more, and the person that was asking if he was taking the houses on purpose might be the case. Look at the amount of buildings that he killed or that he destroyed. More food, stone and gold collected for MbL, but more wood for Mr. Yo. Faster uptime for MbL all over the board, but still very, very well played. Guys, we're going to be right back. Alright, we're back. Thank you for changing the title. Nightbot is actually here. I don't know why the command is not working, but I use uptime. Hold on. Yeah, Nightbot's here, you can see. But yeah, the title was not working. Anyway, we're gonna load now the third game of the series. And let's keep going. There we go. Hello all and welcome to the third game of the best of 5 series between Mr. Yo and MbL. We're gonna take a look at the civs and the maps. As we can see, Mr. Yo playing in the blue. Once again, MbL playing in the yellow. Mr. Yo is going to get Burmese, which means probably Men at Arms in Field H, probably Aramba in Castle H. MbL, of course, getting Slavs, which means that he's probably gonna go into Scouts and then into Knights, probably. Slavs, although technically an infantry civ with free tracking. Yeah, usually go for cavalry. As for Mr. Yo, most likely gonna go for... Yeah, most likely gonna go for Men at Arms because of the extra attack in Field H. Still though, map, main goal and secondary goal on the back for Mr. Yo. Third goal, a little bit forward, a little bit far away, but fortunately for him, he has a very nice back wood line over here. He has an alternative wood line over here. Let's take a look at the stone situation. So main stone on the back, secondary stone forward. And what's the case for MbL? Let's see. Main goal on the back, very nice. Secondary goal on the back as well, so similar situation in the goal front for both players. Third goal a little bit exposed over here, however the stone situation not looking so good for MbL as he gets the main and the secondary stone too far away. He does get a wood line over here and another one over here though, which is going to be great for him. However, not having 4 woods means that he's not going to be able to wall himself just as easily. Anyway, no idea, man. No idea. I think Nightbot gets enabled and disabled as needed, but I don't think the commands should be affected by it. I don't really know. We should be able to. Anyway, we're probably gonna talk about this on Discord later. Let's see. 4 over here, population, dead even for both players, same amount of villagers. Yeah, pretty standard. Let's take a look over here. Scouting, quite local for MbL, quite local as well for Mr. Yo. The good thing about Burmese is that they can see the relics on the map. So if you know the generation algorithm for the maps, you kind of can guess where your opponent is. For instance, relics, I believe they don't spawn closer than 50 tiles, which means that he can probably be over here or over here. It's very likely that he's over here or over here. And that's some information that Mr. Yo can use to locate MbL easier, which means that he can use the scout to do exactly this. Push deer and get an advantage, because he doesn't really need to try and go out and scout and try and guess where MbL is. He already has a pretty good idea. But yeah, MbL on the other hand is going to go forward now. Oh, he's going to try and lame this. Let's see. Is he going to succeed though? 16 villagers, this is something that I like to see. Oh no, that's not going to go his way now. He's going to try and engage probably here, trying to take advantage of the hill. Let's see. Yeah, MbL is going to get pushed away now. Villager count. Same for both players. Mr. Yo pretty much unaffected. But now, one thing that he can do and that he is doing, using the scout to try and attack the other scout is going to take him straight into the TC of MbL. So now that he saw the main stone over here, he knows the TC is very close. So he knows he already found the area where MbL is located. So he doesn't really know. He doesn't really need to find the TC head on. Once you locate the resources from your opponent, you can just kind of divert from the other scout and try to scout over here on your own. So if we take a look at the scouting information, Mr. Yo knows about the stone over here, he knows about the wool line over here. He doesn't really know about the gold, he doesn't really know a whole lot, but he knows where he is at the very least. Now let's see, he should be trying to go for men at arms now after clicking up. There we go. First militia queued, perfect. Nightbot is working, but the title command specifically is not working. I don't know why. Or at least it's not working for me. I tried like 3 or 4 times. No idea. Anyway, situation should be a little bit better for Mr. Yo, as we saw he was pushing some deer, which was not the case for MbL. He did push 1 only. But yeah, that advantage is not going to stand up very long, as Slavs get 15% faster working farmers. And that's going to bring him back into the game for sure. So now the forward here from the Burmese player, going for towers and men-at-arms is quite common for the Burmese Civ. MbL is going to go forward with his own militias, and take a look at the way, the pathing, the way he went with the militias. He went around the wool lines. He didn't go in a straight line because he was expecting Mr. Yo to come here. So MbL is gonna try to do damage with the militias. He's going to turn those into men-at-arms, of course. And he's going to defend home with walls. I want to see what he does. 25 villagers means that he's probably going to try to go for fast castle. Or fast-ish castle. But yeah, the drash is going to be there a little bit too late. Anyway, tower is going to go up for sure. It's probably going to be enough to get this one gate down. And let's see, MbL is pretty cornered over here. He doesn't really have a lot of room to work on. Alright, aggression coming up now. Potentially Mr. Yo could have tried to make a tower up here and push the lumberjacks towards this area, but that was not going to accomplish a whole lot, as MbL can just move the villagers over here. He can move the lumberjacks over here. What is going to be his next move? He already walled this area. He already walled this tower, I mean. He has the men-at-arms over here. It seems like he was walling back at home as he got, as the drash here landed. Oh, that's not good. Idle villagers over here. He's quite safe, but he's not really working very much. Okay, there we go. Fixed, alright. He's going to start using the units over here once again. So there we go, tower from MbL should be going up a lot faster though. Alright, there we go, that's good. That's going to be tower wars now. 5v4. There should be an advantage for the yellow player. MbL should be winning that tower war, however, he's going to get 1 extra idle villager because of it. Very good over here, Mr. Yo reacting to the drash before they get a chance to do any damage whatsoever. Villager count 1 higher for Mr. Yo even. Interesting. Hey BB fan, welcome. Can you check Yo's base? Yes, for sure. We're going to be alternating between both bases. Still, good position over here for Mr. Yo. 1 extra villager, putting the pressure up. He is going to lose this, but he is not going to lose the villagers. So he's going to bring all 4 back at home. that one tower is going to prevent MbL from seeding any more farms in the front of the TC. And that's going to be probably good enough damage at this point. MbL, of course, switching a couple of farmers back towards the mill over here. And what are we going to see? So 5 Minotaurs. He's going to send a couple of archers as well. Uh-oh, that might be one villager going down. At this point, Mr. Yo going for wheelbarrow, and I'm not sure if MbL went for wheelbarrow himself, but take a look at this! That's 8 Minotaurs! Of course he's going to need the quantity. The quality is so much higher for the Burmese player. Let's take a look over here. So only 6 attack for the yellow Minotaurs. But the numbers, it's just not even close. So the 1 HP villager getting barely alive back home. This is fully walled, almost. He can try and wall this area, but I'm not sure if those walls would be on time. Yeah, they should be on time. But they can still go through here, so it's probably not worth it. One defensive tower is going to defend both the stone and the gold, that's good. Where are the other units from MbL? He had more Minotaurs. He had a lot of Minotaurs. He probably lost a couple of those. He had 9, but of course Burmese get extra attack for free in the Minotaurs, so maybe he lost a couple of those in the engagement over here. Still though, archers and Minotaurs are quite good. Mr. Yo fletching, MbL going for fletching, MbL going for wheelbarrow right now, so he didn't get wheelbarrow earlier, which means that Mr. Yo is going to pull a little bit ahead in villager count. If we take a look at this overlay, we can see that 13 farmers for MbL. Guys, 13 people on food actually. Okay, farmers right now. Remember that slab farms are better, or farmers are better rather, so that's a lot of extra food. If we take a look over here, hold on, there we go, we can see 300 extra food for MbL already, 400 extra wood for MbL as well, 400 extra gold. Very, very good eco, very strong eco, despite the fact that he was consistently one villager behind. Why is that? Well, part of that is due to Mr. Yo sending a lot of villagers forward. Even though, well, maybe not a lot, 4 villagers, but it's still 4 villagers that were mostly idle, while MbL only had to use those villagers to build a tower, destroy the tower from Mr. Yo, and then send them straight back to work. Mr. Yo had to get all 4 villagers idled all the way to MbL's base and all the way back from MbL base. Anyway, 5 archers now for blue, 4 archers and 1 skirmisher now for yellow, and this tower should be quite good for defending this area. Mr. Yo going for padded archer armor at this point. MbL doesn't have padded archer armor yet, as you can see, only 0 and 0 protection for the archers. Is Mr. Yo Viper's cousin from China? I don't know, I haven't seen him delete anything, so I don't think so. Anyway, MbL going up to Castle Age right now. Guys, 1 less villager for MbL, still being able to go up faster. Hold on, let me find the right page. There we go. Actually 2 extra villagers now for Mr. Yo. And yeah, the situation is not looking very good now for Yo. He doesn't have the resources. He should be able to go up in probably the next 2 minutes. But let's see. Oh, very good micro over there from MbL actually. Dealing cheap damage. He's going to be able to get 1 villager eventually if he keeps doing that. Now micro is going to prove a little bit difficult for both players, as we know from China to Norway probably the ping is not the best. But still, Mr. Yo holding on just fine right now. About to go up now. Let's see. He's going to click up. Yes, yes. There we go. So Mr. Yo going up to Castle Age right now, but MbL is going to be up so much faster. He's going to go probably for Elite Skirmishers. He can try and go for Long Swordsman if he wants to. He has a good amount of melee units over here, so he can potentially try and do that. Now we can see some units migrating from MbL's base towards Mr. Yo's base, sorry. And there we go. He's going to go for Elite Skirmishers for sure. Scale Barding Armor now. So we're gonna see Knights and Skirmishers versus Archers and Skirmishers. This is not going to go so well for Mr. Yo. Now the stone count, which is what matters for a Burmese player, is not very high now for blue, which is kind of unfortunate, and is exactly what MbL was doing. He was trying to deny the stone over here from Mr. Yo, and it seems to have worked. Now this is very important. Let's see. He has vision of this now. MbL is gonna force Mr. Yo to go for towers. But at least Mr. Yo knows now what is coming, so he should be expecting cavalry. Is he going to answer to this tower? Is he going to do anything? Otherwise he's going to get denied. Although he can probably try to transition the villagers towards this area. That's only a temporary fix. Sorry about that, traffic noises. So we have knights here. Men at arms not going to get turned into long swords. We have skirmishers over here. Mr. Yo is well aware of everything here. Burmese can go for elephants as well. That could be good. However, he's going to choose to go for crossbows and Balkan arrow now. Goal is getting denied over here. Yeah, the situation is not looking good for him. Secondary goal, no way for him to get that. Third goal, way too far away, and he didn't even scout this. Look. Damn it. Look. He doesn't have gold anymore. Going for monastery. There we go. Elephants and crossbows. And skirmishers. Alright, so the men-at-arms should be going down. Splash damage is quite powerful for elephants. However, against 8 knights, or however many MbL has at this point, 8 knights, that's not going to be enough. Battle elephants HP going down dramatically. No knights lost for MbL. Actually, yeah, 1 knight lost, but now he's replenishing from both stables over here. Wood situation not looking good for blue. Gold situation not looking good for him either. Stone situation decent, but he's not going to be able to go for a castle soon enough. He's going to try and go for a TC, but he's not going to wall. He's not going to wall. This is going to get denied. Let's see, 1 monk over here. It's probably going to convert 1 knight over there, but that's not going to be enough. Now there is still a substantial amount of knights over here from yellow, so MbL in a very dominant position over here. He should be able to both get rid of the elephant to snipe the monk and to try and deny this. However, the TC is pretty much built at this point, so it's probably a slower reaction time that it should have been. But anyway, MbL going now for Siege Workshop. Still harassing over here. He's going to lose another knight though. There we go. But now the monk's not going to get garrisoned. Oh, that's too late. That's too late. This monk getting close to the TC. That's good. Yeah, the scout. There we go. Good. I'm garrisoning 1 villager to garrison the monk. But he's still gonna recognize that the situation is pretty much unrecoverable at this point, and he's going to call it GG. So that's going to be the first game going in favor of MbL and potentially the comeback. So 2-1, still in favor of Mr. Yo, who was playing very, very well. But there we go, updated scores. We're gonna take a look at the achievements and then we're gonna jump into the 4th game. Military stats, 4-3 KD in favor of MbL, 2-0 buildings raised, more food, wood and gold collected for yellow. Technology stat, faster castle time, which was very, very important. Going for the knights and getting elite skirmishers, that was very important for him, of course. Villager high, 9 higher for MbL, and the timeline, you can see the game was kind of even up until Castle Age, but of course the pressure from the Slav army was just too much for Mr. Yo to support. So we're going to jump now into the fourth game, so hold on just tight. And there we go. Perfect. What is the background noises? Probably traffic, sorry about that. Yeah, there is some noise, probably traffic. I'm gonna be trying to get a better microphone, but that's still a little bit far away from. Anyway, hello Roboto, and hi everyone, welcome to the series, fourth game of the best of 5 between Mr. Yo and MbL. So far, two very dominant games from Mr. Yo, one very dominant game from MbL, and this is going to be the fourth one. So, yellow player here, MbL playing Franks, blue player over here, Mr. Yo playing Spanish. So two cavalry, actually no, Spanish are gunpowder and monk, but they get great cavalry. And Franks, of course, the ultimate cavalry civilization, getting the best paladins in the game, getting the throwing axemen for pretty much anything else. And yeah, Spanish, what do they get? They get gunpowder, they get the conquistadors, they get paladins as well, they get great monks as well, they get the missionary. Of course, that is pretty much never seen in 1v1s. Unless you're watching the Viper and he wants to troll. Or fantasy play, as we call trolling in high elo. Anyway, 3 villagers now on wood for MbL. Yeah, the wood situation is not looking great for Mr. Yo. As for the rest of the map, we can see that blue has a back secondary gold, forward primary gold, and on a hill even, and the third gold is too far away. Secondary stone, super forward, main stone on the back. What else? Forward wood over here. He does have a back wood line over here, but I'm not sure if he scouted it. He did, but it's probably too far away, and he's gonna try to go for this one, that it's a little bit closer instead. An MbL's map, what does it look like? Let's see. So secondary gold forward, main goal on the back, which is quite nice for him. Whereas the third goal, too far away, super forward. Main stone on the back, secondary stone far away, although not in direction to Mr. Yo's base, so he can potentially try and take that still. Wood situation, he does have a wood line over here on the west. He does have 2 forward wood lines over here, and another back wood line over here. He does have. Yeah, the relic situation is actually quite in favor of MbL as well. 1 relic, 2 relics, 3 and 4. Yeah, all 5 relics a little bit closer to MbL's base than to Mr. Yo's base. Let's take a look at the scouting information. Mr. Yo is about to find MbL. MbL has no idea where Mr. Yo is just yet. But yeah, one thing that is also I have seen Spanish players do a lot is going for tower rush, because the Spanish villagers, they build faster, and if you start taking stone from Field Age, you can probably be able to afford a castle in Castle Age. However, versus a Frank player, that's probably not going to be particularly good. But they're gonna have to wait and see. We're gonna go a little bit faster now until they start going up to Field Age. There we go. So saving some pretty run-of-the-mill time in Dark Age, which we have seen so many times already. Anyway, no barracks for either player, I think. Barracks coming up now for MbL. Barracks should be coming up now for Mr. Yo as well. Yeah, there we go. He's going to go for the barracks over here. Yeah, both barracks are going to be up on time. And they are going to go into scouts for sure. Now, MbL's pushing the deer. That's going to be very useful, as you're going to need a lot of food for the scouts for sure. That's going to be 1. Let's see. He does have a 4 deer patch over there. Let's see how many he pushes. How about MbL? Pushing 1. Where are the deer? Oh, I think he pushed already 3. Yeah, he has a 1 HP deer over there remaining, but he probably pushed 3, although I don't see them. Hold on. That's very weird. If he did... Okay, we're gonna find out if he goes for farms faster. Anyway, stable already up now for the yellow player. Blue player about to get it up. Gonna try and get all those military buildings up very close to the goal so that he can defend this more easily. There we go, so we're gonna see scouts for both players. Mr. Yo does have a lot of food. As we can see, he does have remaining sheep over here, which means that he probably went into... What happened over here? KD 1-0. I can't see the corpses. Yeah, oh, there we go, very nice trap over here. Mr. Yo losing the scout. Yeah, that's not going to be good now. 3 Frankish scouts coming forward versus only 1. He lost 1 already, so he's going to have 2 at best. He does have 1 spearman over there though, so that's going to be good to try and help defend from the Frank scouts. However, 20% extra HP on the yellow cavalry units. Two spearmen here in place. 1 spearman is probably going to go down. Let's see. Actually, no. And there we go. So 3 scouts now for each player. 3 spearmen over here for Mr. Yo, going super safe. He's going to try to go with the scouts around. He's going to go forward and try to do damage with those scouts. That's good. We're going to try to keep an eye on those, of course. 4 spearmen. He's going heavily into spearmen. Is he going to queue anymore? He won't. Oh! Exposed villagers. He knows this. No, he doesn't. He doesn't have the vision. 1 villager going to go down potentially here. Let's see. 1 villager almost going down. Let's see. He needs to garrison over here. That's 1 villager going down in exchange for just a little bit of HP loss here on the scout. Very well played over there, and I was expecting Mr. Yo to try and take the spearman back as he didn't have any villagers exposed over here. Probably placing the spearman over here was going to be better. However, he was trying to probably micro these scouts around to try and get into MbL space. Oh, good reaction over there. That's still going to be 1 villager down though. That's going to be 1 for 1. There we go. Even KD now for both players. Oh, let's see. No, that's not going to be possible. Maybe here? No, actually no. There's another spearman over there. So MbL doing a great job over here trying to defend the villagers with a couple of spearmen. Very well positioned spearmen. Couple of units here going down as well. Most likely the spears from MbL. Yeah, that's probably the case. No weak villagers here for Mr. Yo, which means no snipes over there. These units, good amount of HP. These units, good amount of HP. Almost the same for both players. Now villager count dead even. Military count slightly higher for Mr. Yo as he does have extra spearmen back at home. But let's take a look at the resources. So 17 farmers. 17 farmers for Mr. Yo. 14 for MbL. 14 lumberjacks as well for MbL. Oh, this is very sloppy. Oh, but that's 1 villager down. Probably worth it. So now if we take a look at the KD 75, if we take a look at the total amount of resources collected, we can see that 100 extra food for Mr. MbL. Mr. MbL. Yeah, population now, 2 extra villagers for Mr. Yo. Let's see. 2 spearmen over there. 3. Alright, 4 and 5. Mr. Yo using the market a lot. Going to click up. Oh, both players clicking up at the same time. So 17 and 39 seconds. 17 minutes and 39 seconds. Clicking up time for both players. Castle Age time is going to be 20 minutes and 19 seconds, which is not bad. However, Mr. Yo had to make heavy use of the market, which is not ideal. It seems like MbL was just managing his eco a little bit better. However, what's going to be the strategy now in Castle Age for both players? As we can see, Mr. Yo is going heavily into stone, so he's going to try and go for that sweet Spanish castle to start pumping the Conquistadors. Conquistadors in high numbers can fight knights in high numbers or in similar numbers. And yeah, that's going to be one villager going down for sure. That's very unfortunate for Mr. Yo, as he was trying to garrison all the lumberjacks here. However, now a couple of archers are going to be very problematic for him. It's going to force him to go into a tower over here. However, this tower is not going to be able to prevent the archers from sitting over here and denying the wood from here, and probably sitting over here and denying the wood from this area. However, I'm not really sure if MbL knows about this. However, 2 towers going up for the blue player means that the castle is going to get delayed, and that's probably exactly what MbL wants. So the HP is not looking great for the archers, but he doesn't know about this. He saw the walling though, so he might infer that there are lumberjacks over here. But yeah, this that is not great. Still though, the stone count went down 250, which means that Mr. Yo was only 100 stone away from being able to afford the castle. Having to go for towers here means that the villagers are not going to die, but that also means the castle is going to get delayed. Now, 4 archers here from MbL, additional archers, are not really going to do a whole lot. Yeah, this is not looking good. Now, both players going for a couple of Castle Age units. So crossbows, it's going to be for MbL. Knights, it's going to be for Mr. Yo. Now, the stone count is going up quite fast. This means that is he going to try to go for a TC here? He probably should try to go for one. I can't think of any reason why to delete the palisades here other than that. He's going to get a couple of villagers towards this area, but he is not placing any foundations. He doesn't have the wood anyway. No damage being done by MbL yet, and let's take a look at his base. So that's 1 TC for MbL over here, 2 TCs, the second TC going up over there, starting to take some stone as well, and the third TC, so 3 TCs already for yellow, only 1 TC for blue. Mr. Yo is going to have to play this very, very well, otherwise he's going to fall behind quite considerably. That's going to be a problem, of course. 2 HP villager, getting away from the mean archers that want to kill him. But let's see. Oh, that's a bike. Monk action, that's going to be... Alright, that's going to be 1 conversion. Very, very good for Mr. Yo. Castle finally coming up. Wheelbarrow coming up for MbL though, on the other hand. And let's see. Good thing about Franks, of course, is that they get also cheaper castles. Oh, good action over here. Mr. Yo raiding a little bit. Getting rid of a couple of crossbows, there we go. Is going to be able to get 1 villager though. Might be able to. Is going to go towards this area. Oh, he doesn't know there is no palisade anymore. Anyway, MbL should be able to place a palisade over there. Oh, very unfortunate. What's the situation like over here? Mr. Yo, MbL not doing a whole lot over there. Mr. Yo trying to do damage. Only 3 extra villagers for MbL at this point. What is he gonna do? He's going to try and drive those lumberjacks away. He's probably gonna try and go for a lumber camp over here. What is he gonna do? Oh, another TC. That's going to be 4 TCs for MbL. So yeah, I was saying Franks don't need a lot of stone for castles. They get 25% cheaper castles, which means that he doesn't really have a lot of need for a lot of stone miners. Still though, probably one villager going down over there. Let's take a look at this. Mr. Yo is going for conquistadors. Already 3 over there. Is going to get the 4th one, 5th one coming up. Leather archer armor is going to provide +2 defense. And what else? Knights over here don't really get upgraded at all. He's gonna go for a second TC, still not going for a TC over here, not going for a TC over here. So it's going to be 4 versus 2 TCs, which means that Mr. Yo is going to start falling behind the villager count. As we can see already, 9 villagers behind for the blue player. But conquistadors should be very dangerous now. Going forward now with knights, conquistadors, monks and mangonels, that's going to be very hard to counter with a single unit. Still though, siege workshop coming up, let's see. Is Mr. Yo going to find us out? No, he's going to go away. He's going to go around, I mean. Yeah, he's gotta know that there's something over here, otherwise the units would have gone over there. Alright, there we go, siege workshop has already been spotted. Unfortunately for him, he was not able to deny it. But he might be able to do some damage over there. However, this amount of crossbows is going to be enough to drive the conquistadors away. Only 6 conquistadors versus 16 crossbows. Not worth it. Now this position is quite good though. The cliff is going to provide some hill advantage for the mangonels. So the elevation is going to work in favor of Mr. Yo over there. This is not looking good. He's gonna have to micro around, but he might lose a couple of these. Actually no, they are very good in terms of HP. Both mangonels going down though. One mangonel here from MbL, probably taking both of those down. We have to remember that one of those was in range of the TC, so maybe he got the mangonel got destroyed by TC fire. Let's see. Conquistadors here are probably not gonna do. Yeah, there we go. MbL doing a great job. Great awareness over there, garrisoning the villagers right away. However, Mr. Yo with the score lead, slight score lead, but score lead nonetheless. Going forward with monks, grabbing the relics. Now trying to tank the crossbows with the conquistadors. There is one mangonel inside this siege workshop, another one on the way. Is going to start getting the relics. Let's see over here though. Mr. Yo harassing MbL while MbL is trying to go around a couple of crossbows. Mr. Yo should be fine here. He has a TC over there. The castle over here. This is going to be very exposed though. This is not ideal. He might get destroyed over there if he doesn't notice. Alright, so that's 2 villagers down, 3 villagers down. He probably realized about that now, but it's a bit too late. There we go. So he's going to garrison those units in the TC. That's going to cause some idle time. He can probably ungarrison those and send them towards this area. He has the resources to go for another TC. I'm not sure if he's going to do that. He probably should. However, now the engagement here, the conquistadors versus the crossbows, is going in favor of the conquistadors. Final crossbow is going to go down. There we go. And we were noting in the beginning of the game how all 5 relics were spawning in a very advantageous spot for MbL, but now Mr. Yo is actually taking 2 of those back home. Actually, yeah, 2 of those back home. He's going for a very ballsy, aggressive castle here, and the cliff is going to provide height advantage, of course. That's going to be the high ground. Oh, that's very unfortunate. He killed his own villager. He killed her, that's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, let's see, now the crossbows are going to go down, but the villager advantage, over 50% more villagers for MbL, which means that he's going to be able to go out to Imperial Age faster. He's going to be able to start affording more and better units quite soon. So the clock's running now for Mr. Yo. And if he doesn't do a lot of damage very soon, even though Franks don't get Arbalest, they do get paladins, and they do get cavalier, and they do get better units here. Siege rams, of course, are going to be very effective versus conquistadors. And yeah, siege rams and probably a couple of knights should be able to deal with this. I'm not really sure though. Let's see. Mr. Yo selling some wood. So falling short on gold, it seems, so he needs to try and keep affording more conquistadors. That TC is going to go down. That's not going to be a huge issue for MbL, as we knew he had extra TCs over there, so that's at the very least 3 extra town centers. This one's going to go down. There we go, and let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 TCs. So he had 5 TCs, he has 4 TCs now. He's going to lose a couple of villagers for sure, but the villager advantage now still quite high. 40 extra villagers for the yellow player, who is, by the way, going up to Imperial Age. And oh boy, conquistadors are not going to be able to raid a whole lot over here. The elevation here is just going to make the arrows more deadly. And yeah, it's not looking particularly great. The moment MbL hits Imperial Age, he's going to be able to go for trebuchets. To get rid of this, he can potentially go for bar cannons as well. Let's see over here, very good unit positioning here from Mr. Yo. Denying a whole wood line, but actually he's gonna get a couple of villagers. Only one. And let's see. Another castle coming up now for MbL. And this is exactly the opposite of what we saw in the second game. The second game, Mr. Yo was falling behind, so he walled himself and went full boom. Or was that the first game? I think that was the first game. He went full boom and he was able to get ahead. Now the situation is quite the opposite. Even though MbL was not falling behind, he went up to Castle Age faster and he started booming right away. Since Mr. Yo cannot outright kill him... Oh, that's 2 villagers that are going to go down for sure. Since Mr. Yo cannot outright kill him, MbL's just pulling ahead more and more by the minute. But another castle coming up, that's going to deny the whole woodland. Mr. Yo playing this super aggressive. MbL almost in Imperial Age though. How good is this castle going to be in Castle Age? Mr. Yo's gotta know that MbL's going up to Castle Age. MbL's been turtling the whole game, so it's... yeah, textbook. Mr. Yo was probably expecting Imperial Age. He's not going to be able to go up himself though, he doesn't have the resources. And if we take a look at the eco stats over here, we can see that MbL has even more farmers, which means that Mr. Yo is not going to be able to, to do a whole lot at this point. Yeah, I don't know about this. Situation's not looking great. Trebuchet now coming out from here. Both forward castles are going to go down for sure. There are no forward villagers for Mr. Yo to repair the castle with. This is a good snipe. This is good. But it's still not enough. Now MbL is researching pikemen, scaled mail armor, handcart. He already has the crossbows and the elite skirmishers. Where's the castle? The castle is going to go down for sure. This castle is going to go down as well. That's not going to require any more than 1 treb. Oh, great shot over here with the 2 mangonels. I forgot about the mangonels. Mr. Yo was going for mangonels in Castle Age, and I thought it was a good army going for conquistadors plus mangonels, but yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to save him. Now, Mr. Yo on his way to Imperial Age, going for scaled barding armor. That's the +1 armor upgrade for cavalry units, which means that he is probably gonna look forward to go into cavalier potentially, which is something that I was expecting from MbL, to be honest. Playing playing Franks and not going for cavalry. He probably doesn't want to fight Spanish monks, but I'm not sure. Anyway, Mr. Yo is going to be the one going for cavalry. He's going for chain barding armor now. MbL going for scale mail armor. That's going to provide +1 defense to infantry units. See those blood effects? Yeah, that's the enhanced blood mod that you can get on Bully. Those are very well made, I agree. Alright, one villager castle coming up now for MbL over here. Almost popped cap, 173 population. He was housed for just a moment. But there we go, so Imperial Age for both players now. Another castle coming up now for MbL, and let's see, what is Mr. Yo going to do? Is he gonna go for a trebuchet? No, he's going for conscription. The castle count 2-1, so the only castle that he has is going to be used for conscription. He is taking some stone now. He does have enough resources to go for another castle right now. The score lead quite significant now for MbL. Doing a great job going for the halberdiers here to get rid of the mangonels, which means that the skirmishers and the halberdiers are going to push the conquistadors away. Oh, but the castle got denied! It was probably halfway built, which means that that's a lot of stone that MbL is not going to be able to get back. Now he's going to drive these villagers away though. What is he going to do? He's going to go into wood, of course. He's noticing the castle going up here. So yeah, he's going to go away. Trebuchet. Alright, Trebuchet going to get that mining camp down. And what's the situation overall? Cavalier already here for Mr. Yo. Halberdiers, of course, are going to be great versus those. And we're going to see Halberdier and Throwing Axemen. Not elite yet. So that's, of course, plate mail armor. Yeah. That's going to provide more armor for the Throwing Axemen. Mr. Yo going for chemistry. Ring Archer armor. Ring Archer armor. Yeah, that's going to be +3, +4 for the conquistadors. He's not going for elite conquistadors just yet. Military numbers are honestly not that high for Mr. Yo. Villager number is super high for MbL though, 139. These villagers are quite exposed. I'm not really sure if MbL knows about those. He probably saw the villagers going towards that area, but he doesn't know if they are still there. Anyway, halberdiers coming out now for MbL over here. That's not going to prevent the barracks from going down. This castle might go down though. At this point, MbL pop capped 150 almost population for the blue player, which means that Mr. Yo is going to have to ramp up army production. He certainly has the resources. 2600 gold for Mr. Yo. That castle is going to go down for sure. He can buy some stone, but yeah, it's not. He just doesn't have the villagers to repair this forever, as there are 3 trebuchets taking this down. Now MbL was going for a unique tech. I'm not really sure if he was going for chivalry or bearded axe. I think he was probably going for bearded axe. Yeah, now the halberdiers are just outnumbering the conquistadors. Hand cannoneers are of course very effective versus halberdier, but the conquistadors need to be microed away. Now that castle is not going to go down. Very good trebuchet snipe over here with the cavalier from MbL, from Mr. Yo, I mean, sorry. Is going to go now with bombard cannons. He was able to save the trebuchet, going heavily into hand cannoneers. And what's going on over here? Paladin already for for MbL, I mean, sorry. Missing a couple of upgrades here, but there is a lot going on. One paladin is not going to be enough to fight this amount of cavalier, but it's going to be enough to harass all the villagers, of course. Going for more paladin right now. These guys are fully upgraded. Blast furnace, plate barding armor. Bloodlines, actually no, Bloodlines for Franks, no, 20% extra HP on plays, which means that Mr. Yo should probably start going for, there we go, Monastery is going to switch into Monks now. The Bombard cannons are going to go down to the Paladins for sure, but this amount of Paladins, it's just too much. Population very even for both players, 184, 85 versus 178, 180 now. But the army value is so much higher for MbL. That castle is going to go down, and as the castle goes down, these hand cannoneers are going to be out of protection, which means that the military numbers are going down dramatically for Mr. Yo, and I think this might be the end of the game, as there is nothing Mr. Yo can do at this moment. Of course, he does get access to the Paladin upgrade himself, however his Paladin are not as good and he doesn't really have the resources. Mr. Yo is going to call the GG as the castle went down and he was left unprotected in this area. He was getting pushed over here, he was getting denied from the gold, and just outplayed, basically. Very well played there. MbL is going to equalize the series, and the fourth game is going to result in a 2-2. So there we go. Those Paladins came out of nowhere. I agree. Do throwing Axemen get both the infantry and archer armor upgrades? Only infantry. Exactly, as Simon said. Mr. Yo needs skirmishers. Skirmishers, they don't do very well versus throwing Axemen. Alright, let's take a look at the achievements. I do believe the KD should be in... Hold on. I do believe the KD should be in favor of MbL. Oh, I was wrong. 4-3 for Mr. Yo. Actually, that's good trade over there. Good trading. Of course, the battle booms were quite good as well. Largest army is 65 for MbL. Better eco overall, more stone for Mr. Yo. However, he did lose a lot of castles, unfortunately. And yeah, very good, guys. Quick 2-minute break for everyone to go to the bathroom or get up, get away from the PC for a bit. Go hydrate yourselves. We're going to be back with the 5th game of the best of 5 between Mr. Yo and MbL. Coming up in just a moment. Alright, we're back. So let's get the 5th game going right away. There we go. Welcome everyone to the 5th game between Mr. Yo and MbL for the best of 5 match point over here. So it's going to be interesting. Matchup, we can see right away MbL getting Aztecs versus Mr. Yo, who is getting Portuguese. I don't want to doom this, but I'm not sure if I'm rooting for Portuguese in this matchup. Anyway, we saw Ethiopians losing to Saracens, so whatever. Alright, map generation. MbL getting, Mr. Yo, I'm sorry, getting back main gold, back main stone, very good, back berries as well. As for the rest of the resources, the secondary goal is far away in the east. The other secondary goal is far away over here on the left. The secondary stone is a bit far away though as well. As for MbL, let's see the golden stone generation. Main gold, close to the TC, not on the back, not forward. Main stone and secondary stone far away to the left. However, the back stone is on the back, the secondary stone is forward. Secondary gold is forward, and the other secondary gold as well as sorry about that. The other secondary stone is very far away as well. As for the wood situation, he has a forward wood line over here. He does have 2 back wood lines over here. And the situation for Mr. Yo, oh, the map for Mr. Yo is so bad. I didn't want to say anything with the Civ matchup, but now the map generation on top of that. Alright, so he's getting a very, very, very far away wood line over here. Very exposed and open front. Yeah, and the closest wood line that he has is so far away, almost 1 screen away from the TC. The next one, yeah, 1 screen away as well. Yeah, the map generation is not particularly good for Mr. Yo right now. He's going to go forward right away with the scout. He's going to try and lane. He's not going to be able to. At least not with the first bore. So MbL is going to be able to get that one just safely. He does have another one over here, but I'm not sure. I don't think Mr. Yo is going to be able to find that one. Let's see though. Alright. Talking about history, he might be able to teach me a thing or two. Let's see. Oh, we don't have any music once again. What's going on? There we go. Sorry about that. So yeah, map generation and Civ matchup probably not favorable for Mr. Yo. But still, oh, what's going on here? It was a little bit too slow. Portuguese, if we talk about them, they get 15% cheaper units in terms of gold. They do get 10% tankier ships, if I'm not mistaken. However, that's going to be irrelevant. The gold bonus is going to be good. 15% cheaper gold for units. 10% tankier navy units is not going to be relevant here in Arabia. And other than that, they get access to Feitoria, which we never see in competitive AoE anyway. So bonuses are not very good for them. They can go for scouts, they do get bloodlines, but they don't get the best late game cavalry units. They can go for archers though, they do get fully upgraded arbalist. They do get hand cannoneer, bombard cannon, they are gunpowder as well, so they get the organ guns from the castle. As for Aztecs, Aztecs get some good bonuses. First of all, the villagers can carry +5 resources without having to drop them, which means that almost very similar to getting free wheelbarrow, as Yeah, they don't have to travel back to the TC as often. They also get plus 5 HP on the monks for every monastery tech researched. They get 18% faster training time for all the military units except for monks. They also start with plus 50 gold, which means that they can afford loom for free. They can also potentially use that to go for an extra militia as well. They should be able to afford men at arms faster as well. But yeah, I would say probably the bonuses are a bit better for Aztecs, at least for 1v1 Arabia. And let's see, Trash is already on the way, almost there. And Mr. Yo, he should be expecting a Trash, or men at arms at least.
Oh, thank you, thank you, you wonderful man.
White Phoenix, thank you so much for the subscription. And thank you for the support, man. Very much appreciated. Oh, that's 1 for 1, but of course the villager is going to hurt more than the militia. He's not walling! He's still not walling! He's not scared of one very low HP militia. But still though, these units can be annoying. For nothing, the chicks for free. Quite clever. Yeah, these units are not going to kill one villager, but they can be very annoying. They can cause some idle time. What is Mr. Yo doing though? He's gonna send 4 villagers forward, 1 scout forward as well. There we there we go. Thank you so much for the subscription, and yeah, enjoy the emotes. All right. 2 extra militias now for MbL over here, so he's going to defend here for sure. 1 tower is potentially going to go up. Let's take a look at the scouting information or the line of sight, the field of view, whatever. Yeah, it's going to be able to protect this just fine. Now in feudal age, those militias are going to get turned into men at arms, probably. MbL going for double bait axe, but not going for men at arms. Of course, there is only 1 forward militia. That's not going to do a whole lot, especially versus 3 men at arms from Mr. Yo. That tower is going to go up as well, so both towers up already. That's going to turn into a tower war, which MbL should win here as he gets 1 extra villager there. But Mr. Yo has already accomplished his mission of just denying the wood over here, so he's probably gonna try to go for another tower somewhere else. He certainly has the stone, but yeah, the situation is looking a little bit better for MbL, who was going super late to village, trying to target that sweet castle time, faster castle time. Of course, at this point he doesn't have the resources. He was forced to go into 1 tower, which means that he's not going to have another tower. He's not going to have enough stone to go for another tower, so he's going to go for an archery range just now. Very interesting though, very low resource count for MbL. I'm not really sure what changed over there. If he was trying to go for sort of a trash fast castle, it didn't work. Anyway, did he buy stone? Let's see. Stone collected 51. Alright, he collected 51 stone to go for a defensive tower over here. The situation's looking a little bit better over here for Mr. Yo as he gets the men at arms. He's fighting only militias and villagers, however he's going to go back now. Very low HP militia over there, or man at arm. Over here he's safe back at home. So he's doing the best he can out of the map that he has, out of the matchup that he has. MbL is going to start pumping some archers now though. That's going to be hard for him to stop. He's going to have to go for his own archers or skirmishers. And this is probably an archery range coming up. Yes, there we go. So he saw the archery range here from MbL. Is going to go for his own archery units. And MbL going for wheelbarrow now. Let's see. Oh, so unfortunate. That 1 man at arms is going to go down for sure. 2 archers and 1 militia is going to Yeah, that's going to be enough. Now, let's take a look at this. I want to see what MbL finishes researching with Baro. I believe the villagers from Aztecs should be able to carry back home 18 food from the farm. So that's 15 already, as you can see from the +5 bonus that they get. I want to take a look at this. 15, 16, 17, 18, is it 19? It's going to be 19, dude. That's so good. Still though, another tower coming up now. That's going to force MbL to go away from that wood line. Fortunately for him, he does have options here. He's going to get one militia around here to make sure that Mr. Yo is not trying to sneak another tower over there and deny yet another wood line. However, he's going to go forward. So let's see, villager count 34 to 33. MbL at this point with 2 extra villagers, 35 to 33. Going for, what is he going for? Going for skirmishers. He's going to drive those back home. He probably has a good idea. Yeah, he lost a couple of units here, so he has a good idea of what's coming towards his base. What are we going to see? The bad map generation is going to feel just a little bit worse now, as MbL is probably going to get one tower up here. If we take a look at the line of sight for Mr. Yo, he doesn't really know about this. He probably could have tried to go for a couple of palisade foundations here to have some sight. But yeah, that's not going to be good. Now these archers, they're going to make that forward just a little bit more dangerous. Mr. Yo going for wheelbarrow right now. MbL going for fletching. That means that the villager count's getting even now. Mr. Yo is actually going to fall behind by 1 villager. Let's see. What do we have here? Nothing much going on. But that tower is just so devastating. Barracks coming up, and that can only mean one thing. Infantry units. Kappa, of course. Yeah, he's going to be able to go for either men-at-arms or eagles. Eagles are going to be effective versus skirmishers, not so much versus archers, but so wouldn't men-at-arms, so eagles could potentially be good over here. If we take a look at the resources, yeah, there we go. So he's taking a lot of gold, which means that he's going to make good use of it by going for eagles. Mr. Yo is going to transition the villagers over to this wood line, getting housed just now. But that's it. That's it. If MbL finds this one, and let's actually see if he knows about it. If MbL comes here, he can already see the stragglers, right? Actually, he can already see the chopped trees. If he comes over here, which it seems he's doing, okay. After that, maybe. Alright, that's going to deny this space, so that's not going to be useful for farms for Mr. Yo, but yeah, I would probably try to go for the tower over here. He knows about this. If he goes over here, that's game over for Mr. Yo. He doesn't have any other wood line. Although this is not walled, could be taken down by villagers, but let's see. 4 skirmishers, kind of low HP. Another villager bites the dust? No. 1 extra villager, 2 extra villagers for MbL now, getting housed though. How about Mr. Yo? Also getting housed, both players housed. 10 extra population for MbL though. Playing this very, very well. Being super aggressive here with archers, with eagle, and with the towers, of course. And I'm not really sure if he's trying to crack the walls open or if he's just building slowly the chain of towers towards this wood line. I'm not really sure, but I think it's probably... It'll probably be a lot more effective to try and build a tower here. Anyway, does Mr. Yo have vision of this? He does, alright. He can probably react just well. Another tower coming up, this time with the hill advantage. But let's see, MbL on his way to Castle Edge just now. Back at home, he's pretty much untouched. He only has to deal with these 2 towers that Mr. Yo built ages ago, but that's not really a huge issue for him. taking wood from here. He can potentially take wood from here or from here. So yeah, kind of underwhelming towers for Mr. Yo. But once again, the math generation is not working in his favor this time around. MbL going for forging. These units already have scale mail armor, so the +1. Oh, Mr. Yo is making heavy use of the market. Let's see. Oh, he's going to be able to go up now. He's going to... Okay, there we go. So he's castling the villager. He's going now for castle age. This is going to be so bad. How many villagers? 5 archers and 5 villagers. That's not going to be... yeah, that's not going to be counterable with a single tower. That one's going to go down. He's going to go for another tower here to try and defend. The walls here are pretty much destroyed, potentially. Let's see. Another one bites the dust. But 2 towers should be able to get rid of the palisades here, which means that he should be able to get in and start harassing with archers. It seems like he's waiting for castle age, so he's gonna try and go potentially for eagle warriors and crossbows maybe. But let's see, what do we have over here? Crossbows, actually archers from Mr. Yo. I totally missed those. What do we have here? Oh, he's going to start taking his gold. He's going to be protected by this tower. He's going for the eagles. He's going for eagle warrior upgrade. He's going for squires as well. So he's going to group all the eagle warriors over here. He already has at this point 11. He should be able to crack this open. He should be able to get in. But very good secondary wall over here for Mr. Yo. That's going to be enough to stop MbL for a little bit. Mr. Yo is going heavily into stone, as we can see here. He does have 9 stone miners. So he's going to try and go for the castle, but these guys, they still only have scale mail armor, so they are missing the +2 upgrade. Now stone walls coming up for Mr. Yo. Gonna go for stone wall over here, stone wall over there. Very nice. The palisade walls are going to go down. Mr. Yo is going to be safe, but just for a little bit longer. Not for a lot of time though. If this goes down, that's going to be good for him to get in. Oh, let's see, Mr. Yo reacting quite well. Another house over there. MbL getting house though. And let's take a look at the TC count. Aztec player going for single TC push, heavily into eagle warriors. Very usual stuff. Working quite well though. Oh, but he's gotta be careful over here. Only 17 wood remaining in that tree, which means that it might be going down. If he goes for that tree, if that tree goes down, that's going to be overchopped. 1 TC coming up though. That's not going to be enough to stop the eagle warriors. MbL still not going for chain mail armor though, still missing the +2 defense. Let's see. Mr. Yo definitely didn't accomplish as much with the towers as he probably wanted to. But he had to be aggressive with that bad map. He's going to get spotted here though. Mr. Yo not noticing, going for the castle here, going for extra TCs. That's going to be 2 extra TCs. But he's going to be out of wood over here. This is overchopped. This is overchopped, and MbL is going to find that out when he builds the tower. Let's see. There we go. He knows this is overchopped now. He can just walk in. And this TC doesn't have enough room to store all the to garrison all the villagers. Actually, that's 19 villagers for 15 garrison space TC, which means that if MbL just walks in, he's going to be able to get 4 villagers at the very least. He's building more towers over here. That's going to deny all the wood from Mr. Yo, and that means that he's going to be out of wood. Without wood, what is Mr. Yo going to do? Wood count for him, fortunately, is good enough that he can hold on just a little bit longer. Is he going for any siege whatsoever? He's not. He's not going for any siege. He's going for the organ guns. He needs to mass those up. An MbL going for siege. So 2 extra villagers for the yellow player. 43 army versus only 7. Finally, a siege workshop coming out now, coming up now for Mr. Yo, which means that he might be able to get rid of the towers, which means that he might be able to start taking the wood from here again. But once again, getting a single wood line, yeah, it's not good. It's not ideal. Let's take a look at this. That tower might be going down. Organ guns quite effective with the multiple projectiles. Siege workshop already in place. Is he going to queue anything? He doesn't really have a lot of resources. He doesn't. How much is the organ gun? Hold on. 80 wood. Tricky spot for Mr. Yo. Tricky spot for Mr. Yo. Probably gonna lose one organ gun here, not reacting on time. That's 80 wood that he's not going to be able to get back. That's another 80 wood that he's not going to be able to get back, damn it. And he's getting denied now. The wood line is getting denied here for Mr. Yo, and I don't think what he can do anymore. Ram's not going to be able to get this down while there's a mangonel over here. He's not going to be able to get... Yeah, this is open now. Game seems to be over. Organ guns are siege. That's true. That's technically correct. You're right. But yeah, guys, I believe at this point this is most likely the 3-2. Let's see though. Mangonel's in place here. Chainmail armor already in place for Mr. Yo, which means that these guys are not going to take so much damage, and there we go. GG has been called. That's going to be the final game of the series between Mr. Yo and MbL, with the resulting final score of 3 for MbL, 2 for Mr. Yo. Guys, we still have one more series to go after this. We have China versus Secret. Those games were played yesterday, so if you haven't seen those yet, or if you want to see them again, stick around because we're going to load those up in just a moment. We're going to take a look at the achievements from the final game, and let's see. KD 3-2 in favor of MbL. Overall better eco, except for stone collected, faster castle time, more relics, more relic gold, villager high, only 3 more villagers, which is kind of surprising. Well, actually, it's still quite good considering that he was going for 1 to see. Very dominant game, very well played MbL. Exploiting, taking full advantage of the bad map of Mr. Yo. Nothing to say to... yeah, nothing against MbL. Very well played. Well deserved victory. We're going to go for a very small break, as you know, 2.5 minutes, and then we're going to be right back for the next series, which is Vivi and Mr. Yo versus Viper and Tato for the best of 3. See you in a bit.